Welcome to Our Voice. I'm Rebecca Evans.
And I'm Kim Peake. We have an outstanding lineup for you on today's show, starting with Laura Simic, the Vice President for Advancement at Boise State University.
We also have Trace Dandrea, who is the Vice President of Development for Rods and Rods Jr. It's an organization that helps adopt orphan Down syndrome children.
It's a wonderful organization, great story. We also have a beautiful lady with a beautiful voice, Beverly Carothers, singing in our Acoustic Cafe.
And finally, we are going to shake it up with Dr. Matt Hansen, who does the Shake It Up After School program, elementary kids acting Shakespeare out. I mean, it's really amazing.
I can't wait to see that. So stay with us. As you know, we film here at CenturyLink Arena in Boise, Idaho, with great support from the Grove Hotel.
And with the Grove Hotel comes an amazing fitness center.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you know what you're going to do, Kim?
Yeah, I've been told.
Yeah, you've been told. So you're going to meet up with a personal trainer towards the end of the show. They're going to work you out.
Work me out. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss that. Welcome back to Our Voice. Today we are joined by Laura Simic, Vice President for Advancement at Boise State University. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Kim. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, well, we are so glad to have you here with us on the set of Our Voice. To start with, tell us a little bit about your role as Vice President for Advancement.
I've got the best job in the world. The advancement team at Boise State builds relationships with our donors, our alumni, our community partners, our friends, in order to advance the mission of the university. What we do in the education enterprise is bring the resources of time, talent, and treasure to the table so that our students and our faculty can be successful.
That's wonderful. And just share with us, what is the real mission of Boise State University that you really try to further?
Boise State is about connecting with the community and responding to community needs. We have the primary mission of providing a high quality education to our students and help raise the education level of the citizenry overall.
That's wonderful. And BSU has done such important work in those areas in the last few years. And then also BSU recently surpassed a big goal with an even bigger number. Tell us a little bit about the Extraordinary Times, Extraordinary Opportunities campaign.
Yes, the campaign is about scholarships. It's about the extraordinary ways that a college education can really change lives and the extraordinary donors that make that happen as well. It was a $25 million campaign.
Wow.
And last month we passed the goal, and we sit right now at about $29 million. And the campaign was really built on three premises. And those are, first and foremost, providing a quality education with minimal debt for our students. And the second premise is helping our students stay in school and graduate on time. And then the third premise is helping recruit a diverse and wide-ranging student body.
Those are wonderful goals. So you talked about no debt, graduating, not just starting school, but graduating, right, and a diverse population. So what did you really accomplish? Can you give us a couple of concrete examples of what you accomplished with that campaign?
Sure. What we know about our students is that close to 85–90% of them are receiving financial aid in some form or another. And of those students, about 75% of them are borrowing money to continue their education.
Wow.
That's a huge burden,
right,
and we want to help lessen that burden. The other thing we want to be able to do is we know that even $1,000 a year, once a student is at Boise State, can help a student stay in school. What scholarships do is they really allow students to concentrate on their studies, on their academic program. So it helps them make great progress toward their degree in a timely manner. The other piece of that is also, we know that it's a very competitive environment out there in terms of recruiting students. And a scholarship that is somewhere in the half tuition $3,000-$4,000 range can be the deciding factor if a student comes to Boise State or even if they come to school at all. And we want to encourage more and more students to go to school, to graduate on time, and then be able to enjoy all the benefits that a college education brings over a lifetime.
Switch gears a little bit about here in Idaho. We have the Don't Fail Idaho campaign, which is raising a lot of good awareness about the need for college, for students to go into college, but also it's raising some concern about, you know, the numbers that we need to increase of students being in college. So tell us a little bit about just that campaign as it relates to what you're doing in all the endeavors of your office.
Sure. You know, we share the goal, and that is to create a more educated citizenry that allows people all the benefits that a higher education that can bring. And we're doing several things to really encourage Idaho students to complete their degree. One of them is Complete College Idaho. That's a really important program, and Boise State is 10% ahead of its benchmark that was set by the State Board of Education for our graduating students, helping students get their degree. We're very pleased that we're ahead of our benchmark. One of the other things that's brand new that we're doing to help Idaho students come to school is we created a scholarship program called the True Blue Promise Scholarship. It's hard to say.
Can
three
you say
times
that?
fast.
I was going to say, can you say that again?
True Blue Promise, yeah, the True Blue Promise Scholarship Program, and it is specifically for Idaho students who are incoming freshmen coming to college for the first time, and if the students are Pell Grant eligible, which means they have demonstrated need, if they have a minimum 25 ACT score and a high school GPA of 3.3 or above, we will award them a scholarship that is $2,000 a year for 4 years, or a total of $8,000. What we figure is if a student receives their Pell Grant, which is money they don't have to pay back, along with this scholarship, is they can cover their cost of tuition and required fees each of the 4 years of their academic program.
Well, Laura, your passion for Boise State University is infectious. It takes about 1 minute to meet you and realize that. So just in our last few seconds, what is one thing you love about Boise?
Oh gosh, Boise is fantastic. It's a wonderful community to come into and immediately get involved. And the thing that I love about Boise State is really its innovative spirit. There's a high tolerance for risk. People like to try new things, and it makes us very nimble and responsive to the community. It makes every day different, and it makes it a really exciting place to work.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, it's been wonderful having you on the set. Thank you for joining us. And anybody interested in finding out more can contact Laura through the Office of Advancement at Boise State University. So thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Kim.
So we're going to have a next story that's going to be wonderful. You won't want to miss it. Rebecca will be talking with Trace Dandrea about his mission to help orphan Down syndrome children. Stay with us.
We have an incredible program right here in the Treasure Valley. It is called RODS, and it is about endurance athletes raising money and awareness for orphan children. So I brought on the set with me the Vice President of Development for RODS, Trace Dandrea, and he's here to tell us a little bit more about this program. So I'm so excited because I've never heard of this. So let's start off, just tell us a little bit.
Well, thanks, Rebecca, for having me on today. I really
absolutely.
appreciate to share about RODS. RODS is an organization. It stands for Racing for Orphans with Down Syndrome.
With Down syndrome, okay.
And what we do, we're endurance athletes, and we do marathons, triathlons, and we raise money and awareness for an orphan with Down syndrome, one child at a time. Okay. And it was an organization started by Brady Murray about 5 years ago, where he picked one child and raised money to get that child adopted. And so today, we have over 200 racers around the country, and we're on our 20th child to help get adopted, and we raised over $500,000.
So you've raised $500,000 to help these children get adopted. So how did you get involved? I mean, when I knew you 15 years ago, I don't think you were an endurance athlete. So I'm going, how did Trace go from gym rat to endurance athlete raising money for orphan Down syndrome kids?
Well, it's like many people as we get older, we like to be competitive, but to go do sporting events, races, and do it for something greater than yourself, it means that's much more to go help somebody. So But my wife and I, we have a son and a daughter, and our son Anthony has Down syndrome. And when he was born, we knew we were going to do everything we could to make his life the best we could.
Right.
And so knowing that having a child with Down syndrome, we know how much love he gives us and he gives others.
Right.
And so that was what made me so passionate about getting involved with RODS, because we know that there's gifts out there. These kids are gifts. And these families, when they adopt them, their lives have changed for the better.
Why Down syndrome? I mean, why adopting? I know for you this is personal, but RODS was formed for a reason. So why is that so critical?
Well, we've learned that across the globe, kids are being abandoned because of their perceived disability. And we found that that was something that we thought we could help. And the fact that the only thing standing in the way of these kids getting adopted is usually money.
It's funding. It's expensive.
It's expensive.
And sometimes they have medical procedures that are needed,
Correct.
right?
So if we take away part of the money, the finance part of it,
right.
and we increase awareness, all of a sudden there are these, it opens up the adoptions, and that's what we do is we get these kids adopted quicker by having the funding.
Now, there's also an includability side to this, so
Yes.
can you share a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, we just started a new program last year. It's
Okay.
called RODS Junior, and the theme behind it is includability. And what includability is, our goal is to get to include all abilities through sports. So we're
love it. That's great.
involving these kids teams, and so far we have 5 kids teams involved, and they find ways to include kids with disabilities with the team.
So I know having a son like Anthony, I am sure there is something he has taught you. I mean, a life lesson, a defining moment. I mean, I know there's probably a lot. Is there something that you'd like to share?
Well, we always like to say the kind of the saying with when God created, a Down syndrome child, He got it right, because they come into this world, and as they grow up, they don't get their wires crossed.
Yeah, I hear that.
They're all about love, and Anthony's taught us and anybody he's around about love.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. He's made me feel, being a dad, how important I feel, incredibly rewarded being a father. Well, and I can tell you that this program with the RODS Junior, when these kids with disabilities, knowing, because Anthony's involved with all different sports, it's helped him develop physically, socially, and intellectually.
Right.
And we really feel that inclusion with these kids as peers at school, it's made such a difference in his development.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to do, is to show what's possible with this program with these kids.
Thank you so much. Now, if people want to get a hold of you or get involved with RODS, there's a lot of opportunity to get
Correct.
involved. How can they do that?
Well, we have a website,
Okay.
rods.org.
Okay.
And our RODS Junior program is also listed there. And what we're always looking for people that want to do a 5K, 10K, whatever.
So you're looking specifically for teams that are in existence that would be
Correct.
willing to be part of RODS Junior.
So we have 5 teams today in Boise area, because I've developed it here, but my goal with RODS Junior is to develop globally like we have with our RODS program.
That's awesome. Gosh, thank you so much for this work that you're doing. I mean, I think it is so critical, and I'm so impressed. And wow, so if you're an endurance athlete, you want to get involved. If you know of a team or you're part of a team, you want to get involved. So thanks so much. And coming up next, we have Dr. Hansen. He's from Boise State University. He is shaking it up after school with a little bit of Shakespeare. You're going to want to stay tuned. Well, it's been said if you want to master a program, you should teach it. And there's a movement going on at Boise State University in the English department with Dr. Matt Hansen. It's called Shake It Up After School. And it's a program where the college students are teaching elementary students Shakespeare through performance. So we've invited a couple of the actors to come on the set with us. I want to thank Ruben Ward, Alana Stahl, thank you so much for being here. And first of all, I want to know, how hard was it to, like, the difficulty of learning, acting, performing Shakespeare?
It was difficult, but at the same time, it was a fun challenge. It wasn't something that you were being forced to do, and yeah, it was just very fun.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, what
Yeah,
about you,
I
Elena?
really enjoyed it, and sometimes it was hard to learn your lines, but I really enjoyed it, and it was a really fun activity to do after school.
Okay, so up and coming future actors, what advice would you give them? Let's start with you, Elena.
I would give them advice on on your lines as much as you can, with like emotion. Like
I would agree with that, yeah. Oh, with emotion? Uh-huh.
Yeah, you want to try to, like, when you're reciting them, like, try to recite them with emotion. That way you just already have the emotion that you need for your performance.
What about you, Ruben?
To be passionate is a big thing. Like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it, because it's not, like, with lots of opportunities, people just take them and don't realize how much they care for it or don't care for it. So just be passionate and make sure you think you're the one who will get the job done and do well.
We had a chance to go backstage to the Shakespeare program, Shake It Up After School at Whittier Elementary, and we captured some interviews with the actors backstage. So let's take a look. We're here with the Shake It Up After School program at Whittier Elementary, and we have Lily, yes, Ruben, and Lola. Okay, and you're in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. I know you guys are going to perform tonight, so I don't want to take a lot of your time. What was the most fun performing Shakespeare?
Just think it was the acting. My favorite part was the fainting for me.
How about you, Ruben? What was your favorite part performing Shakespeare?
The preparation, all the things that go into it. It's like this big milkshake of different ideas that people put in.
Okay, and what about you? What was your most favorite part?
My favorite part was trying to act all tough and manly.
Okay, so other kids who want to get involved with Shakespeare, what would your advice be? What about you, Ruben? What's your advice?
Every part matters, because you never know what part you're going to get in this program. So if you are expecting to get a big part and you get a small part, you shouldn't be disappointed, because, you know, every part matters. Without one part, the whole play might fall apart.
That's a great point. Great advice. Okay, and what's your advice?
Mine is to be the character, not be yourself.
We brought back on the set with us people that are involved with this program. We have Dr. Matt Hansen, who is the creator of the brains behind the program. We have Natasha Sylvia, the director over there at Whittier, and then we have Brittany Strauss. Okay, so I think the biggest question that I have when you look at, of all the plays to teach children, why Shakespeare? I mean, what is the benefit for Shakespeare, especially elementary school?
I think that there are a couple of ways to answer that. One is that once they get a little further down the road, these students are going to encounter Shakespeare in the curriculum. Most around 9th or 10th grade. I think getting them in as volunteers and having a really fun and hands-on experience can possibly take away some of that anxiety, some of that resistance.
It is powerful, and I think the other thing you do to gift that, not just for the elementary students, but for your students, because they have to teach young children how to perform Shakespeare. So you really are learning Shakespeare inside and out. Working with kids, what's the takeaway lesson? I'll start with you, Natasha. I'm sure there's been a lot of lessons, 5 years of working with students. There's got to be something that stuck out for you.
I think what sticks out for me the most is that you are not aware of how brilliant these children are and how talented they are. It's really taught me to not underestimate children. For me, it changed my life. I mean, I'm going to be a teacher because of this program.
What about with you, Brittany? What's the takeaway?
Going into the program, I definitely didn't know how to talk to elementary school kids.
Wait,
so I
did
didn't
you
what to
know that
expect.
you were going to be teaching?
Honestly,
honest.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I really didn't. But it ended up being one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had in college. It was super, super time consuming, but in the most amazing way. It was where I wanted to go.
Okay, and thank you. And Matt, what about you?
I think similar things, that we too often kind of underestimate kids and what they're capable of.
And I think really one of the things I hear all of you say is there's a potential to underestimate ourselves. If people want to get involved, how can they do that?
So we do have a website that I think is going to be shown on screen, shakeitupafterschool.webs.com. Does that sound right to everyone?
So
That's what I have.
And the other way is to contact me, and to contact me directly at Boise State. Boise State fortunately has very intuitive email addresses. Mine is Matthew Hansen, MatthewHansen at boisestate.edu.
Okay, yeah, I highly recommend getting involved. So thank you again. Coming up next, we have the beautiful voice of Beverly Carothers, and she is here sharing a beautiful song. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Our Voice. In our Acoustic Cafe today, we are thrilled to be joined by Beverly Carothers. Welcome, Beverly.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Yeah, we were thrilled that you were going to join us. And, we'd like our viewers to get to know you a little bit. So share with us just a little bit about, did you always want to be a singer?
From the time I was a little girl, I was making up songs. I knew nothing about music. My father was actually a musician, and I was a dancer when I was little.
Was there somebody in particular that inspired you as an artist?
You know what? There was just being around so much music when I was little. I mean, I used to listen to the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, of course, and Tina Turner. My mom was a big fan of her, and so just Diana Ross. So many talents.
So were there obstacles that you overcame as you wanted to be a singer? A lot of people want to be a singer and get out there and do that, and it's not always easy. So what were some of the challenges you overcame?
Well, actually, that's interesting that you should ask that. Coming from Canada, which I was originally born and raised in Canada, it was just a different vibe there. There was not a lot of opportunity. Didn't really work in Canada. So when I moved here, there's so much music in Boise. There's so much live music that it just the doors opened, and I just found myself doing what I had a passion to do.
What you love to do.
And yeah, it was just opportunity knocked, and I just stepped in and took off from there.
Well, we're really excited you're going to sing for us. So would you share with us what you're going to sing and why you chose that song?
I'm going to sing There You Are by Tina McBride because she's just an amazing talent. She has a beautiful voice, a beautiful range. It just works. I just love it.
That's great. Okay, well, let's listen to Beverly sing There You Are.
Searching in the middle of the night, searching
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Martina is one of my favorites, so I love to hear people sing
Yeah.
her songs, and not everybody can. That range is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
She's
So,
amazing.
Yeah. So just to kind of close out with you, Beverly, share with us kind of one of the greatest lessons that you feel like being involved in music has taught you in your life.
Oh, that's a great question. You know, to let go of fear and just really, because something about needing to do what you want to do in spite of how it makes you feel. I remember I would stand there with a microphone and just be shaking like a leaf, and I wanted to run, but I couldn't because it was calling me. There's something inside of you that just needs to do what you're made to do, and I feel like I was made to sing.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing that with us. And if people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
They can go to my Facebook page, Beautiful Beverly, message me there, and I can respond. And
Okay,
it's easy.
great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining
Again,
us.
thank
It's
you.
been just a delight to have you on,
been really
and
fun.
love to hear your voice. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Well, we promised you a sneak peek with Kim down in the fitness center here at the Grove Hotel, so let's take a look.
As promised, we are down here at the Grove Fitness Center, and we're here with Jacob Clifton, personal trainer here at the club. So, Jacob, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, a fitness club in a hotel. I bet there's kind of some misconceptions about what it is. So, share with us how it works.
Absolutely. We always get hotel guests coming in here, and they're always, oh, this is the most amazing hotel gym I've ever seen. When in reality, it's not. It's a private gym. We have
Okay.
private members.
That's great. So, if you're staying here at the hotel, you can use the facility.
Yeah.
And if you live locally, you can come and join the club, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about getting a personal trainer like yourself. So, tell me, why should someone consider getting a personal trainer?
Well, the first and foremost, the most important reason would be accountability, especially when it comes to form and technique. A lot of people will get a workout routine from online or from a magazine and just do it at home with no regard to how they're actually performing.
So, as promised, Rebecca said you're going to put me through the paces down here. So, tell us a little bit about what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to work on our core. The core is the most important movement system in the body. Every movement you do stems from the core.
Great, I think. So, okay, are you ready for the fastest workout ever?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Here's your first exercise. You're in and out. Release your chest. There you go.
Oh my goodness, Kim, that looks painfully fun. I am so glad you did that instead of me. So we really want you to join our voice community at Our Voice Idaho. Also, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors because we wouldn't even have a show without them. So your voice matters. Remember that here on Our Voice.